Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. As you know, some European countries or the European Union, which is not the entire Europe, place sanctions on Russia, on its fossil fuels and other ways of doing business and so on at the, I would say, command of other forces, some of them located across the Atlantic and some of them even on their territory. So let's see, this is an article from Business Insider from today, June 19th, talking about some European countries still buying Russian gas, or at least makes a calculation of uh, how much and who bought from Russia in the first 3 months of the special operation. So this is the title. These six European countries paid Russia $40 billion for fuel in the 3 months of the war, despite impending bans and sanctions on imports. Yes, because rules for thee, but rules not for me, other things. So we have here Germany, Italy, and France are among European countries that have been snapping up cheap Russian fuel. Yeah, because they didn't really want to do it, but they had to do it. You know what I mean? They still did it because they can. Their purchases made up almost half of the $97 billion in revenue Russia got from fuel exports. So their purchases made up almost half of the 97 billion in revenue Russia got from fuel exports. The EU plans to phase out Russian oil imports this year, but not natural gas yet. So they have selective morality, and let's say you have a criminal or a rapist, but because you still do some business with the rapist, you don't convicted. I mean, let's say it's a convicted rapist. You don't arrest him yet. You let him at large because you have some dealings. He has to pay you some money. Let's say you have something to gain from him, so you let him out large in society until you fulfill your interest, and then you arrest him and place it in custody. Let's say, So this is how I see these guys are doing. Yeah. They did a bad thing. We're gonna place sanctions. We place sanctions on Russia, but wait, time out. Wait a little bit. We're not gonna implement it yet until we figure things out here first. Selective morality, right there. Six European buyers accounted for almost half of the revenues Russia banked from its fossil fuel exports in the first 100 days of the war in Ukraine, even as the European Union was outlining a plan to ban imports from the country, according to recent analysis by a Finnish think tank. France, Germany, Netherlands, Italy, Poland, and Belgium were the top European buyers of European fuel fossils exports, including coal, crude oil, natural gas, and oil products of the spot market between March and May. So again, France, Germany, Netherlands, Italy, Poland, and Belgium. These are just some of them. There are some other ones, but I didn't include them here because probably these are the biggest offenders. Now you remember Poland has a big mouth with little dingy-lingy. So here you have it. Poland. Hello, Poland. You like doing business with the Ruskies, huh? You talk shit all the time. All right, that's the reality. I'm sorry, I'm just putting it bluntly. I don't use euphemisms in this case. I need to gain more experience from my friends from Reuters and Business Insider and all these guys. The spot market is where trades buy and sell physical cargoes of oil, for example, for immediate delivery, as opposed to the futures market, where the sales where they seal a price for delivery at some point further ahead. So again, the spot market is where traders buy and sell physical cargoes of oil, for example, for immediate delivery, as opposed to futures market, where they seal a price for delivery at some point in the future ahead or further ahead. And I'm quoting, these purchases take place outside of the pre-existing contracts. therefore always representing an active purchase decision, end quote. This is from CREA wrote in its analysis. European commodity traders have actively shunned Russian cargoes of crude oil and refined products, while most natural gas imports arrive via pipeline and are more difficult to avoid. In total, these countries shelled out a combined total, the 6 countries over there, including Poland, a total of $40 billion of the roughly $97 billion Russia pocketed for its fossil fuel exports in that time, the same source said. Now, record discounts. How can you avoid it? Go to a shop. I'm not going to shop over there. I have sanctions. They have sanctions in that. I look like a bad dude. But I go over there and pay 5 times for the same pair of shoes, let's say. Let's go. Yeah, because morality has its limits. So Russian oil is cheaper than other grades right now, as Western sanctions and traders avoid those exports have cut the value of its flagship Urals crude. A barrel of Ural crude currently trades at a record $30 discount to the global Brent crude benchmark, which stood at about $120 a barrel on Friday, near its highest in a decade. So the Urals crude stays at a record $30, and everything else stood at 120 a barrel on Friday. To this end, sales of cheap Russian oil and gas are expected to hit $285 billion in 2022. So, the cheap Russian oil and gas are expected to hit 285 billion dollars in 2022, a 20% increase from its profits from oil and gas in 2021, according to Bloomberg. Well, these sanctions hit Russia like a I don't know, jellyfish. Nothing. So in 2021, okay, it's down to Chinese and Indian purchases of Russian oil, which now account for half of Russian seaborne oil exports. Yes, that's the new club. Remember BRICS? BRICS is the foundation of the new club. And while demand from China has remained consistent, India has ramped up its buying to tune of amount 800,000 barrels a day compared to the next to nothing as recent as January. Opportunity, take it. In response, Russian oil production, which many expected to decline in line with demand, has jumped 5%. Now, those guys, those analysts and experts, economists, I want them to come in front of the TV and say we were misleading you or we were dumb, okay? Because they had a 50% chance. It either goes up, good or bad, and they up like that, and that could be anyway. I'm angry with these experts who keep coming in front of the TV and say shit, and then it doesn't confirm whatever they said, and they don't come back and say, "Oh, I was wrong." You can say, "Well, you were always wrong." That's your job. That's why you're an expert. Otherwise, you would be a regular Indian like me here. So average daily, jumped 5% so far in June in response. Average daily oil production, including condensate, reached 1.45 million tons through the first 13 days of June, up 68,000 from May, according to Reuters, which cited data from Interfax. Meanwhile, European countries continue to buy Russian fuel even after EU leaders reached an agreement to cut around 90% of oil imports from Russia by 2022. But it has no plans as yet to stop imports of natural gas. No, we keep that. The European Union has typically relied on Russia for about a third of its oil needs and as much as 40% of its natural gas. Oh my, so there it is. China bought $12.6 billion worth of imported of fuel from Russia, while other major European importers were Netherlands, Italy, France, Belgium, and Poland. Those 6 paid a combined $40 billion. of coal, natural gas, crude oil, refined products from February 24th. Yeah, I told you. Selective morality, selective, oh my God, situational morality. Yeah, so the sanctions are not hitting those guys as much as hitting these guys who impose the sanctions. But some of them were made, they had to impose sanctions. They had to. Like Germany, remember how it opposed the Nord Stream 2 to be closed, shut off, and whatever? Oh my God. And the Americans were banging him, banging, and calling them. They almost brought up I was about to say, the Second World War, let's put it nicely, and blah, blah, blah. And they almost started going there. I mean, the Germans said, okay, jawohl, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Go with it. All right, man. My ass hurts from you guys uh, talking to me. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth. Situational morality right there. Poland.